What is going on, guys? Thank you so much for tuning in back to the channel. Today we're going to be working on the cooling system for the 240 behind me. Little quick story. I was sitting at Del Taco in the drive-thru. I saw those numbers start to climb. For me, that's reason enough just to throw everything we can at the cooling system to make sure that it's bulletproof, basically. We're going to be doing everything today, from the thermostat, water pump, radiator, cooling fans. We figured out a way how to wire this so it just runs OEM electronic fans. So I got a bunch of boxes behind me from Mishimoto. We're going to crack them open, show you guys what we got, and throw them on the car. Okay, first part on the list is our radiator from Mishimoto. Bless you. This is so exciting. Now, if you guys have been following along with the channel, you'll know that everything on the car is OEM. Sorry, I have to do this. I just had to get a look at it first. That's beautiful. A lot of people don't like Mishimoto. They say, oh no, you should run coil rad. Full aluminum, dual core, looks like really good quality. All the welds are super nice. We're gonna attach some electronic fans to this. This is gonna look sick inside the engine bay. So let's see what else is in our other boxes. Another big box from Mishimoto. Now this is our Mishimoto fan shroud kit with the electronic fans already mounted up and everything as a kit. The amount of cooling ability on this thing is crazy because I think it's almost double. I'm gonna put the correct numbers somewhere over here for CFMs. CFMs are basically the amount of airflow that's gonna be pulling through the car. Not only is it really sleek looking, it's gonna clean up the engine bay a ton. We get to remove that OEM shroud that just bubbles up and looks hideous. These are electronic versus our belt driven fan. The main benefit between that is we're taking load off the engine, basically freeing up some more horsepower in a sense. And they just really look cool. So super stoked about these. Because it's already out, like, did come with some hardware, we're gonna throw this on the radiator real fast. Basically just bolts right up on this radiator. Okay, now with this all attached, we can see exactly how thick it is. It looks really nice. It's a bit heavy, but this is gonna really cool down the car well. Let's open up the next box. Okay. Really nice packaging. I think this is where all the money goes towards. So obviously, we had to get the hoses too, upper and lower. Yeah, nothing too exciting about them, but look like good quality, and we don't have to cut them or anything like that. Next box. Stop putting mufflers on automatic cars. So this is our CX Racing aluminum expansion tank, or overflow tank, however you want to call it. We didn't necessarily need this. I guess we kind of did. Whatever's in the car right now looks like a milk jug. I kind of wish they polished this, but this will be cool. This will make it look way better than what's in the car now. I'll show you guys what's in it. And it also gives us a little meter to see if we're low or not. This is gonna look great with all the other parts. And last but not least, we got all the other pieces that are gonna just make this thing come together. We got a water pump from Hitachi that's OEM. We have a thermostat through Gates. I like Gates stuff. They make good coolant parts. And then a Felpro thermostat gasket. This is all going to be replacing everything in the 240. I actually completely forgot. We spent $150 on wiring through Chase Bays. This is going to be the trickiest part of the install because we actually had to modify this piece. Normally, if you're a drifter, a drift nut guy, don't care about when your fans turn on or off because it's strictly a drift car, this is going to be awesome for you. If you want it to work OEM, it's not going to be, you got to modify something. This is our relay box. Very nice quality. You got your fuses and the relays there. I'll leave a link for everything below for you guys to pick it up. Not sponsored, this is just what we got. Normally, when you get this kit, when this thermo switch hits 180 degrees, your fans are gonna kick on. That means when you turn off the car and your engine is still at 180, it's still gonna run. So we did have to modify this to be ignition on only. But 150 bucks, all the wiring is all fire resistant, sheathed perfectly. It's all nice stuff. You got your power and grounds here that they already made for you. The fan harnesses that are gonna just solder in directly to the fans that we got. We're gonna have to find a mounting location and all that stuff. This will be the last deal. For now, that is all the parts. Let's tear into the car. So the first thing we wanna do is remove all this junk in this area. First step is the intake, and then we're gonna move on to the shroud and the radiator itself. So let's get started. All right, we're gonna disconnect the lower hose right now and drain all the coolant. Okay, so while that drains, we're gonna get the rest of the stuff unbolted on top. Now we got a 10 mil. We're gonna take off all the bolts behind the fan to remove that out. No, I know. Now it's just a matter of getting all the bolts off. I think this is like the hardest part of it all right now. Now that we got the fan out, we're gonna find the 4 bolts holding the shroud together and remove that all together.
Looks good. Looks really good. Well, like if they didn't do anything stupid, like for no reason.
Right. Now that everything's kind of unbolted and loose, we're gonna remove this secondary fan. There's 2 more bolts on the bottom here. That's actually gonna hold the lower shroud and the fan together.
Oh, it's hand tight. There's one. Now the second one.
We're actually all free on the shroud itself, so we're gonna take the radiator out, loosen up some more areas, and then we'll be able to pull it out. Now we can pull the radiator out after everything has been unbolted on top. Perfect. Yeah, that's nice. Okay, now the lower shroud comes out. Fan comes out. Look how thick this old system was. Just this alone is like the size of our new system, and like we're still missing the radiator on the old system, you know? So now we're gonna move on to the water pump and thermostat. Just disconnect a couple bolts, loosen up the belt. This should all pull off. Same with this section. We're gonna remove the hose, take off these bolts here, pull it off, and then replace. Oh my God.
Good thing I put the fan under. Was it really time? What do you think? Nice and clean.
Okay, we got our RTV. We're gonna put that all up against the facing portion of the engine and the water pump. We just gotta let this sit for a while. All right, moment of truth. And now we can do the thermostat. New thermostat, got a new gasket, everything's gonna go on just the way it came off. Now we're just gonna throw the pulley back on the water pump, and then we'll get the 4 nuts. We're gonna loosen up the power steering pump tensioner so that we can slide the belt back on and then retighten it all. Pretty tight?
Yeah.
Okay.
There we go.
Ew. This was a really bunk setup. Whoa. I think this was off like a Ford or something. This is just temporary. Someone else had it up there. So now we can put our new one on. Nice and shiny. Wow, look at all the room. Stand back and look at it. It's going in now. So we got those 2 big holes closest to the condenser right there. Those pegs are gonna slide right in. Tight. It's a snug fit. Wow. Look at all this working room. Now we can go ahead and throw these hoses back on. Here lies Alina, dead on the floor. I mean, you could barely see what's going on down there. Looks like you're loosening it. Oh, damn it, Alina.
I didn't know I was loosening it.
The top hose now can go on. All right, guys, I'm super happy with the way it's starting to look. Starting to look a lot cleaner. Look at all the space. Even with the intake like this, we still got a ton of room up there. And now we just gotta hide all these wires. We should be okay.
Alright guys, so we got the radiator installed, the hoses, the water pump, the thermostat, it's all done. Now all we have to do is install our new wiring harness. I found a location that I want to mount the fuse box. I'm going to put it right where the cruise control used to go. We took that out a while ago. It's just kind of in the way and it doesn't work. I'm sure it works, but I don't really want to figure out why, so we just took it out, makes it look nicer, and now we have a place for this. The only things we got to wire up are the fans. We bought this T-piece to tap off the existing coolant temperature sensor. That's where this thermo switch is going to go. I'm going to wire up the fans to have like a switched ignition, and it's going to be wired up to our original tap of fuse from our power steering. If you haven't seen our power steering video, I'll leave a link above. Check it out. Virgo Auto is the best. Anyway, moving on. Let's get started.
Okay, and we're back. Just got off work, obviously. Alina's been doing all the wiring. Gonna fill up the system now. Distilled water and some coolant, and we're good to go. I think I should get a funnel. We're gonna put about half of the distilled water in, and then do half of the coolant, and then we'll see where we're at. About half. Funnel. So coolant system is filled technically. I'm gonna start the car, let it get warm, and then continue refilling the radiator until it's completely full. We should be good. Let's start it up. Fill that tank up with some water. All right, now it is another day. This wiring system really got the best of us, but I'm gonna try my best to walk you guys through exactly what we did. We mounted our new fuse holder to the original spot that the cruise control area was. We just bundled all the wires into the pre-existing harness here. So everything's just zip tied right on top. We got our signal wire for ignition on running through this grommet here. Everything else, positive, negative, and our two fan wires and the thermostatic switch are all following along this rail in the front. So it curves down and all the way to the front towards the battery over here. We came out from the back side of the battery all the way up to the front here and then put our positive on. Our negative, I forgot to mention, is on the back side of this fuse block. And then our fans are all loomed together with this absolute mess of evaporative hoses. So everything's all bundled together, but this is the way we routed it. Now, for the thermostatic switch, we got a male to female T. It takes some time to find this piece because the thread sizes are so different. So I'll leave a link for this below if you want to go this route. But we're able to have our chase-based thermo switch along with the coolant temp sensor tied into this space, which is great. I'm happy with it because it looks a lot cleaner. It's never gonna overheat now, and it's just good peace of mind basically for when the car does see any track time or anything like that, but that's later on down the line. Resto mod is a good term for this mod, I would say. I'm happy with it. If you guys have any questions, please leave a comment down below. It really helps out the channel. We'll try to answer any of your questions if you have any. And if you guys haven't already, hit that subscribe button so you can stay up to date on all the videos. We try to upload every single Monday. December was a little bit crazy, but we're getting back on track with the new videos. Hope you guys liked the video. Take it easy.